Hey, it's Meredith here from vidpromom.com. And did you know that GoPro is not the only manufacturer of action cameras? I have often looked at some of the other brands and wondered, how do they stack up to a GoPro? How's the image quality? Can you use other GoPro accessories with this? Is it as robust? Over the last couple of days, I've been playing with an action camera made by a company called HAMSWAN. Is it HAMSWAN? I think it's HAMSWAN. Anyways, this is the F60 model, and this retails for about $50 to $60 on Amazon, and I'm partnering with HAMSWAN to bring you this review. Now, I'm going to dive into the camera itself in just a moment, but first I want to show you this camera comes with a ton of accessories, like a ton, like way more than you would think actually fits into this box. There is the waterproof case, of course, and then there's this clamp thing. There's a handlebar mount, there's a buckle with a thumb screw, and then there's a couple of these little like joint things. I think they're called switch support, so you can connect them to get the right angle. Then we have another buckle and a couple of adhesive mounts, a tripod mount. Then there's this thing, which is kind of like a frame mount. Then there's this extra back door, which the manual says is not waterproof. There's also an extra battery, and there's a battery inside of the camera. So it comes with an extra battery, which is awesome. And then we have some more switch supports, a user manual, which is always handy. We have a package of zip ties and this cable-like thing. And then we have a few extra adhesives and a charging cable, a cleaning cloth, and a couple of straps, 2 with buckles and 2 that are Velcro. There are a lot of accessories that come with this camera. However, the camera itself doesn't have a lot of options and a lot of the different settings that you would typically find on a GoPro. By default, the resolution is set to 1080, 30 frames per second, and the only other options you have there are to switch it over to 720 resolution at 30 frames per second or 720 at 60 frames per second, and then the only field of view available is that wide angle. The camera does have Wi-Fi, so you can connect it through the Final Cam app. You connect it a lot like you would do with a GoPro, and then you can control the camera, change the settings, and kind of use it as a viewfinder. In fact, as far as I could tell, there are some settings that you can't change on the camera itself and you have to use the app for, but the manual doesn't make it really clear how to actually change the setting. Now, using the camera itself is pretty simple. The front button there is the power button, and then the shutter button is on top. I don't know how to get rid of that time thing, the timestamp at the bottom, and actually the time was wrong until I connected to the app, and then it reset itself based on the time and date of my phone. There are a couple features of the camera that I'm not really sure what they do. The manual doesn't really say, but one of them, I think it's some kind of a motion detecting thing. And when I used that with the app, I couldn't actually get the camera to stop recording. It would stop recording and then start recording right away again. I played around with it for like 15 minutes, restarted the camera, restarted the app, and I don't know what I did, but finally I got it straightened around to where I could use it. And I also had trouble getting the shutter button to actually press down when it's inside of the waterproof housing. It was almost like the waterproof housing button just wasn't depressing that shutter button enough. Sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. One kind of neat thing is that on the side there's this zoom function. So right here on the side you can actually zoom in and out. And you know, this is something that a lot of GoPro users I've heard complain that there is no zoom option. So it's kind of neat that the HAMSWAN camera has that. So let's talk about actually shooting with this camera and check out some of the footage that I captured with it. I let my daughter take the camera into the pool with the waterproof housing, and there was no water leakage or anything like that, which is great. And then I shot some footage with both the HAMSWAN and the GoPro Hero 5 Black side by side so that we could compare the image quality and the sound quality and things like that. So let's check it out. So I had the Hero 5 set to 1080, 30 frames per second, Pro Tune off, wide field of view, so that I could kind of match the settings as close as possible with the GoPro Hero 5 and the HAMSWAN action camera. And we shot this footage at the playground. It was about 1 p.m. so the sun was overhead and it was really pretty bright outside. So there's definitely some noticeable differences right off the bat. The HAMSWAN camera on the right has a lot more color going on, which honestly makes the sky look nice and blue, especially compared to the GoPro on the left, but it's a little oversaturated, I think. And then the image quality is a bit fuzzy, and you can see it quite a bit more if I zoom in here. The sound quality on the mic is fine. It picks up everything loud and clear. It just gets a little bit distorted if you're right close to the camera and in talking, for example. Can you smile and say hi to the camera?
Hi guys.
Can you smile and say hi to the camera?
Hi guys.
And of course, this footage is without the waterproof housing. Inside of the waterproof housing, the audio is muffled and basically unusable, just like you would expect. So let's take a look at more of that side-by-side footage. Overall, I love the effort here by HAMSWAN to include all of these accessories with their camera, especially the extra battery. For 50 or 60 bucks, I think it would make a great gift for a young person who's looking to get into video and doesn't have a lot of money to invest in a camera, or for a teenager or something like that. So obviously there are pros and cons to the HAMSWAN camera. I think it's a really great price, and it comes with so many accessories, and the payoff there is that the image quality is not as great as what you would get with a GoPro. So if you're curious about the HAMSWAN camera, you want to try it for yourself, I'll put a link below this video, and let me know in the comments if there are other non-GoPro action cameras that you think I should review on this channel. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful for you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Really loud truck. Bye.